It's been a while. Hey you guys, Kimchi Turtle, and I'm back. I know it's been a while, guys, and like I said, I'm sorry I've been gone a while. It's just before all this craziness that started happening, I was kind of struggling trying to keep up with the schedule because I work at night, so it was hard to edit videos and all that stuff. So I kind of got really behind. So I kind of got stuck in a rut, and when all this stuff started happening, you know what I'm talking about. I kind of got caught up in my old hobbies, which is like video games and stuff. So I was kind of stuck doing my own thing, but I really do miss making videos, guys, and that's why I'm back. And you know, to keep myself, you know, a little bit more excited doing videos, I wanted to create a new segment, which you saw the new banner, which is called Just Me, where I could pretty much talk about stuff about my other interests, you know, like about, you know, books or be more in depth about my reviews. Don't get me wrong, I love doing Kimchi Corner, talking about anime. I love doing my regular reviews, but I feel like right here I could do other projects, like smaller ones, like either be like short little films or stuff like this, what I'm going to talk about right now. And speaking of, you know, getting into little hobbies, if I mentioned, I got into a little bit of a new hobby, which was modding. Specifically today, we are going to put a new screen in the GameBoy Advance SP. So, welcome to Just Me. Let me just say right now, this is my first time doing this kind of video where I'm like instructing you guys how to mod something. I've never shot stuff like this before, so be patient. But otherwise, here we go. Let me tell you the tools you're going to need to do this mod. Alright, first of all, you're going to need a Game Boy Advance SP, whether it be your own or one you have to buy. And while you're at it, if you're going to be doing this mod, I kind of recommend you get a new shell. It's just going to look nicer, and probably the one you have is probably a little dingy. Sorry. Next, you are going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. I highly recommend you get this big kit that I'm showing you right here. I'm going to leave a link to in the description below where to buy this. It really comes in handy, and it comes with a tri-wing. Oh, and just to mention right now, in the video you're going to notice that I use a different tri-wing instead of the one in the kit. Little did I know, I didn't know the kit came with a tri-wing already, so I actually bought that separately. On the same website I bought the shell and the IPS screen. So just give you a little heads up. So when you buy this kit, it's already going to come with the tri-wing screw. So anyway, let's continue. Next, you're going to need to clean this board, because if it's your own, it's probably dusty, so I do recommend you get some isopropyl alcohol. And you're going to need a toothbrush. Now, if you can't find a toothbrush that's lying around, feel free to steal your older sibling's toothbrush. I'm sure they won't mind. What the hell do you want? What the? You're also going to need a pair of flush cutters and a pair of pliers, because you are going to need to trim down a piece of the plastic on top of the Game Boy Advance SP in order to fit the new screen. And speaking of the screen, you are going to need to buy your own IPS screen. Okay, speaking of that IPS screen, I just want to give a quick shout out to the website where I got this from, and also I got the shell. It is a website called retrogamerepairshop.com. These guys right here are amazing. Their products are great. I've always bought their shells from them. They're fantastic. I've bought other backlights from them, and they're great as well. And just their customer service actually in general is really great, guys. Like with every purchase off their website, they give you a little 10% off coupon, you know, with every purchase. Isn't that great? Just that little bit goes a long way, guys. And also, their customer service is just amazing. One time I bought like a previous backlight. I had some issues with it. They were willing to communicate with me and walk me through the process in order to fix my problem. I just thought that was also great. And when it come to find out that we thought it was a damaged product, they sent me a replacement, no questions asked. Again, just those little things make it up for me so much. So I can't recommend this place enough. Again, if you want to check out their stuff, check them out at retrogamerepairshop.com. I'll leave it a link down in the description below. And also you can follow them on Instagram just to get some quick updates about their site. Again, that is retrogamerepairshop.com. Okay, first we're going to want to remove the 5 tri-wing screwdrivers, and also including the 2 Phillips heads, one right here, and there's going to be one right underneath the battery. So we're going to remove all those just so we could get to the board itself. And then once we finally get to the board, you're going to remove these 3 also Phillips head screwdrivers right here. or screws, sorry. And once you lift up the board, you're going to see there's a ribbon cable. Just for example, to remove the ribbon cable, you want to lift up these two black tabs over, and it'll release it. And while you're at it, you might as well clean the board itself if you're using your own SP, because it's a little dusty. And while you're at it, why don't you clean your dirty mouth? Anyway, when you lift up the ribbon cable, there's another Phillips head screw. You're going to want to remove that in order to take off this cover right here. And you're going to want to remove these rubber spudgers right here in order to get to the rest of the screws. They're tri-rings. And you're going to want these plastic little spudgers. That's what keeps the screen, flaps, from flinging everywhere. You want to push it just enough so it's sticking out a little bit. In order to remove them though, you're going to want to open up the shell, and then you want to press them out the same way we got them out the first time, so it won't break. And of course, that's all we need. So actually you can take off these rubber spudgers, these little covers, because all we're going to need is this piece in order to clamp it down again. And then of course, we're going to have to again rip off this plastic piece right here. You see where these lines are at right here on the tall plastic. We're going to want to rip those off in order to fit the screen with the new ribbon cable. I use a little bit of pliers here, and again, look, it's a little messy, but it can be done. And then right after that, you're gonna want to place the ribbon cable like so, and you're gonna want to connect the cable to the ribbon cable like so. It's just gonna make a clicking sound when you connect it. Very simple. And you want to put half-down tape underneath it, just so it doesn't, heat up the ribbon cable. The screen heating up the cable. And you want to curl it, as you see right here in the video. Just so you can slide it back into the other part of the plastic, just for example. And of course it kind of made a hole when I was trying to cut the plastic, so it kind of sucks. So you want to put through this hole in order to connect it back to the board itself. And before we do that, this is optional, but if you want different kinds of brightness settings, you're going to want to use a soldering kit. Again, this is optional, but because you could just plug it in and it will automatically work with the backlight. But if you want more options for brightness, this will work. You will have to do this. So you're going to want to solder one piece of the wire to Q12B right here. And it's very simple to solder, guys. It's very easy to learn. Just take your time, be careful, make sure it's soldered properly on there. Definitely don't rush because it is metal. And of course, just for example, you're going to want to, of course, you see right here, we connected to 12QB, and I connected to the ribbon cable right here. And that's going to be able to give you all the settings you want. And right after that, you put everything back together like you did before, and yeah, that's about it. I'll be back with my results. Okay, let's talk about it. Doing this mod, I'm not gonna lie to you, it is a very simple mod to do, and I actually could recommend a lot of beginners and any of you guys that want to put a backlight in the console. I definitely recommend this as your first time, just because again, I did mention the soldering is optional, and that everything else is just drop in. Like the speaker's just a drop in. Again, buttons, again, you don't have to solder any wires or anything. So it's a very simple drop in. But here's the thing. Doing this mod, there's like two little pain in the butts that you have to get through to do this mod a little bit. Unfortunately, since I'm using a clear shell, when I used the pliers, it did, as you see the footage here, it did scratch up the top of the shell, and of course you can see where I trimmed a little bit. So of course, if you got a regular shell and not a clear one, you're obviously not going to see that, so you could get away with pliers. So that kind of sucked, especially because I kind of slipped and I did scratch a little bit of it. Also, another thing that's kind of a pain in the butt is getting the, as you see in front of the footage, getting the ribbon cable through the hole and trying to get it to attach to the board. Because again, you're lifting the board, but simultaneously trying to connect the ribbon cable to the little latch. It's just really awkward, guys, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I had to actually ask a younger sibling of mine to give me a hand on this one. It was just a little difficult. Again, and also another difficulty was soldering the wire to the ribbon cable and to the little hole I mentioned, I believe it's 2QB, 12QB, I believe. That I actually had to ask a sibling to hold up a piece of the shell just so I could get to those two parts, just so I could solder them together. It was a little awkward, and luckily the kit that I mentioned, the little screwdriver kit, it comes with the pliers. I don't know why I didn't use them. I was just really pushing to just finish it already, because it did take me a little longer than expected. But again, those were just the difficulties while doing those mods. Again, it's not really difficult, it's just more tedious. Again, just ripping the plastic to make sure the IPS screen could fit, and also of course getting getting the ripper cable into attaching to the board, and also attaching the little soldering the wire to those two little points on the ribbon cable and onto the board. Those were a little bit pain in the butts, to be honest with you. But overall, guys, I spent a day with this console, and it's just great. I love the new IPS screen, and what's cool is, and I just noticed this today, the bezel is a lot thinner. Like compared to this, like this is the original, it's the original like screen cover for the original SP. Look how thick the bezels are right here on the sides. Like, look at the difference. Like you get like a serious wider screen, and it's just fantastic. And again, I did mention that the soldering is optional, but I really highly recommend you guys do that, just because you have like 9 different settings of brightness, and it's just crazy how bright this thing gets. And while I'm still talking about the wiring, I won't lie to you, I did run into an issue. I don't know what it is. So basically, on this footage right here, I showed you like how to lay out the wire, you know, tape it down with some Kapton tape. I ended up having to reopen the shell again because I accidentally forgot to put in the switch, on and off switch. So I had to reopen it again, and I kind of messed up the wire, so I had to rearrange it a little bit. And unfortunately, the wire kind of went over where the lights are coming from. And the thing is, I started noticing the battery isn't lasting long. Now it turns red after like a good while. Now I don't know, it could be a number of things guys. It could be that I need a little bit more electrical tape where this is, because I did put some, if you saw in the video, electrical tape, you know, where the little ribbon cable is right here, underneath it and a little bit above it, just so it doesn't heat up. It could be an old battery, because this battery is from my original SP. I had this since I was a kid. So I don't know if it's just slowly dying now, or it could be that the wire is in the way of the lights. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Or it could just be the IPS is too strong, or it takes too much of the battery. So who knows? So I'm going to reopen it and see what the deal is. So I'll probably give you guys an update later on my Instagram. Again, follow me on Instagram if you want some updates and behind the scenes stuff. But overall, guys, I highly recommend you do this IPS mod. It is fantastic. I love the SP, but to be honest with you, I'm still kind of a big fan of my original GameBoy Advance. It's bigger, it feels more comfortable in my big hands. Although I would probably more likely take this if I was going out and about, just because it's portable. It's a lot smaller, take it close, it'll protect the screen than the original. But let me know. Again, that's pretty much it. I am really happy with my mod. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Are you planning to do the IPS screen? Have you modded stuff before? Let me know in the comments below. And okay, and by the way, thank you so much for being so patient. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. I am going to be working on another mod. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've kind of been hinting at it. It is going to be, how we would say, a very minty, fresh mod. You'll get it once you see it. But I'll keep you guys updated, and I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Just Me. Again, it's a new segment. I'm really excited, and I hope to be doing some interesting stuff in this segment. So again, catch you guys next time. See ya.